Hey there, Shooby-Doodlers. How are you doing? Well, today I'm going to draw Benny for you. And who's Benny? He is, well, it's going to be, he is a character. In fact, he has his own website with his, no, I don't think they're married yet. His partner, then, shall we say. His partner is Penni. So it's Penni and Benny. And let me get this right. So he's on a Segway, a dog on a Segway. So they are a very, very happy couple. And later on, I don't know, in a couple of months or so, I'm going to finally get these two into print. I'm going to do a Kickstarter thingy-jiggy for them. And let's get the wheels in about there. That looks about right. I can probably zoom in a bit then in that case. And Benny is a dog, and Penni is a cat. And the story I have been working on for a very long time. And so for a while, they were going to be humans. And in fact, if you click up here, we'll do it a bit later, actually. You can go and see a video I did about them when I thought they were going to be humans. And I think I pretty much made that video. I thought, no, that's not right. And so that's the trouble with characters. It's the story, I think, has driven this. And there have been all sorts of issues have made me kind of think, oh, I need to change that. I need to change that. Oh, that's not right. Oh, and basically, I think I want them to be a franchise, really, and I want them to have all sorts of stories and a whole series of books. And so I've been kind of working out the hinterland, the who they are and what they're about. Kind of ness about them. And so for a while, well, I know about Penni. Penni is very glamorous, and she's a kind of fashion blogger, and I knew that for a while, and then it's sort of come about that I've sort of realised that she's actually a vintage fashion blogger. So she's really into kind of vintage fashion, which is all working out beautifully for the way I'm planning the whole story and everything. And so on her Instagram account, the Penni and Benni, at Penni and Benni, both with I's, Penni and Benni. You can see then she she really does Instagram her latest outfits. And so basically I find these really great classic vintage pictures from Vogue and things like that, and dress Penni up in these amazing sort of 1950s outfits, particularly with a thing for Dior. So Benni, he just adores her, and he just does anything she says, basically. But I haven't quite decided on his job before, and I thought he's going to be something digital. So Penni's also digital, so she's in kind of digital marketing for, as a fashion blogger. That's digital marketing, isn't it, really? And so I knew that Benni was going to be something like that, and I thought, oh, he'll be running her website for her, but it's not quite that simple. I'm going to think how this all... Oh, he should have they have a pouch thing there, don't they? Never mind. But I'm having to think towards, the long life of this series. And I've known that I want Benni to be someone who kind of explains stuff. And so I want him to explain about tech and stuff like that. But in the background, I myself, of course, he's explaining stuff that I'm interested in, basically. And I've been thinking, I want to start doing stuff about, the plight of insects and stuff like that, which isn't terribly glamorous. But if you had Benni doing it, then it would become a bit more glamorous. So he has just got a new job. And he's working for an outfit called The Bees, whose avowed intent is to look after insects, for looking after pollinating insects. Yeah, so Benni has gone green, basically. And in a kind of not terribly radical kind of way, in a practical way. That's the thing. I wrote a blog piece this week about about the green issues. Everybody's suddenly jumping on the bandwagon of green issues. Got to save the planet, which is absolutely right. But we have one politician talking about we need to be on a war footing. And that is just completely wrong. We don't need to be on a war footing. That'll just terrify people and they won't want to have anything to do with it. We need to be positive. We can quite solve this climate change business, and it's all going to be done through technology and the advancement of technology and understanding and all those kinds of things. It's not going to be done by suddenly going, right, you can't eat meat anymore, you can't do this, you can't do that. Nobody's going to put up with that. So Benni's job is, he's kind of very good at social marketing and stuff, and doing stuff on websites and things. But more than that, he's just a very passionate kind of guy. So he's going to be, promoting, not just promoting, insects and stuff like that, which he will be doing, because that's what I'm kind of interested in myself. But he will also be, promoting new, amazing new technologies, and how we don't have to just give up stuff. We can change to something that might be even better, and that's what it's about. It's promoting better and more exciting alternatives, I think, and not this. Right, got to give everything up. That's the end of the world. Nobody wants to hear that message. There's one thing I've learned from children's books is that children don't respond to preaching, and generally humans don't either, unless the preaching is just preaching fear, which is what most people do these days, Mr. Trump and all, and they just preach false fear. Rather than preaching and offering sort of different alternatives, and better, more shiny, more interesting alternatives. So this is what Benni's doing, and this is what the outfit he works for, the Bees, is all about. So I'm suddenly feeling really quite like, I want to get on with this. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, no, not unfortunately at all. Rather fabulously, I'm working on 2 other picture books at the moment, and if you want to know about them, come and join me on Patreon, because I am sort of showing how I'm designing them. I'm showing them. I'm actually designing one of them completely on the new Affinity Publisher program, which is still in beta, so I'm going to be showcasing that. That they're not paying me or anything like that. It's just something I want to do because I want to escape from Adobe, because they charge far too much, I think, for their software, and I think they've got everybody by the short and curlies, and I want to show that you don't need to be stuck with Adobe if you're in publishing, and you can. In fact, I haven't. I used Adobe yesterday only because I'm just tidying up. I have to keep paying them for another couple of months, and I'm just using them to tidy up a couple of things that I'm not going to be able to import into Affinity because they're so old. In fact, I'm having real difficulty getting them off CD-ROMs, which are starting to disintegrate. So so that's one of the things I'm doing on Patreon, sort of showing all those sorts of things, showing all sorts of illustration techniques. So that's Adobe Publisher and Adobe Affinity, and Adobe Designer, which is a bit like Illustrator. And so I'm sort of showing those kinds of things. Oh, his hand's gone. It's because I think it's because I'm talking, and his hand's gone all grey, isn't it? Never mind. And I think it's going to be more bluey grey kind of trousers, jeansy kind of trousers. Would he be wearing jeans? I don't know. I made a little mistake there, haven't I? Painted the space between his legs. So I'm not quite sure what colour trousers he would be wearing. This is stuff I'm going to have to research. If you're a kind of a cool dude, he's not really a hipster. I don't think he's not an eco-warrior. He's a new breed altogether. He's something new. And something that I feel is sort of, it's a mood that's about to sweep the world, I think. And it's about miniaturization, it's about efficiency. It's probably about electric cars and segways, which I think are the most awful things. I don't know, there's something just deeply unglamorous about a Segway, I'm afraid. I'm going to give him sort of oatmeal-y shoes, I don't know what, and then a bit more. There's something very, very unsexy about Segways, and there's something, he looks alright on it, but I think sometimes I don't see a Segway very often. We have, in the forest where I live, they have Segway tours. You go and hire a Segway. Perhaps I should go and have a go on one and see what they're like. And everybody comes along. They just stand there looking stupid. I don't know. At least on a bike, you're bent over, you look like you're working hard and, cycling and pushing the boundaries. But the Segway just looks very smug. We went to Canada once, a long time ago, and we went to Lake something or other, I can't remember anyway. And I don't know what happens with these wheels, so I'm just going to do that. And this couple came along and they parked up and they just put their Segways together, and they just very smugly kind of went off round the lake, back again, undid them, put them in the back of their car. I thought, what was that about? What have you achieved other than, trying to look like, hey, I've got a Segway? Hasn't achieved anything. They haven't had any exercise, and they've gone around the lake so fast they haven't appreciated it, haven't done anything. So I don't know. I think there are probably some things like police patrols. Inner city police patrols are probably really quite good because you're standing up that little bit higher, aren't you? And you can see what's going on. And I know we went to a theme park in France, and they had them there because getting from one side of the theme park to the other must be if you're having to do that every day, and and it's really flat, big, wide, flat sort of pathways, so that kind of made sense. But I was looking them up online here yesterday, and somebody had been arrested for segwaying on the pavement or the sidewalk, as you might say. And so here in the UK, you're not allowed to ride your Segway on the pavement or the sidewalk. And so you certainly wouldn't want to be riding one of these down the roads with all the potholes and everything that have increased over the last 10 years since the global financial crash. There is Benny celebrating his new job, going whoosh, 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 whoosh. Actually, I just dried that quickly because he does rather look like he's sort of floating, doesn't he? I'm going to put some more serious kind of shadows in there, like that. And then I think we need some bit more serious shadow in underneath there as well. Should be sort of coming like that, and in under there. So I think I'm going to call that it before I ruin it, which I'm probably just about to do now, having said that I'm going to do that. If you have watched so far, click down here and subscribe to the Shoo Rayner drawing channel, and why not come and join me on Patreon as well. In the meantime, keep drawing, drawing, drawing. Practice, practice, practice. And I'll see you next time. You take care now. Bye-bye.